Okay, aloha. This is take 3 of our amazing sex positive um, experience here on the live video, and I think it's just too powerful what we're about to share here, because we have our dear friend Diego, who developed the sex positive tarot card deck. I'm gonna invite him, and I hope that it's gonna dive into a live reading in here. So thank you for your patience and welcome. All the good things are free things, Diego.
Yes, I understand. There's something sometimes that goes wrong, but you have to keep trying even if things don't come easy. So yes, that's one of the special powers of persistence or believing in yourself and in your project. So
Exactly. Exactly. It's wonderful
you've
to
got
have you here. Thank you for offering this special reading that is apparently very full power, so powerful that we have had some internet connection issues the last couple of times. But we're gonna make it. It looks good now. So tell
yeah.
us a little bit about the project that you're doing.
So, as you know, I've been a sex positive artist for a few years now here in Rome. I'm based in Rome, but I've been traveling and we met in different festivals. But I wasn't familiar with the tarot power. And so just recently in January, so it's 1 year now, the whole 2021, I encountered a person who introduced me to this the cards and their symbols, and especially in particular the tarots with the Jodorowsky approach. So with all the symbols and all the the ability to do tarological readings rather than divination. So because I'm quite skeptical on some things, but then there's something else that works, which is the power of imagination and the power of connecting things inside yourself. So it's kind of like when you go to a psychologist and you start talking about your things, which but then something clicks with one element from outside, and that helps to, direct your energy somehow or to make you more clear on other things. So it is quite therapeutical, you would say. Obviously, it's not a substitution of therapy, but it still can help with making some things more clear, especially with things that don't have like necessarily a rational element, or they have so basically they're not
Yeah,
only tarots. Hmm.
I agree that the tarot cards are a wonderful tool to give you some reflection and some different perspectives on where you're standing right now. I work myself with a lot of like with tarot card readings and with oracle cards and like other cards, but it's a wonderful thing to zoom out and to like get different insights. So it's super cool that you made it, that you translated all of this into the sex positive world.
Exactly. I found there was a lot of connections. First of all, already these four suits, like there's pentacles, there's cups, there's swords, and there's wands. But they also have like some meaning with connected with the intellect, with heart, and with sexuality, obviously, and with spirituality. So these four elements also were something that I, basically everything drew to a translation. For example, the four suits I changed into this, which were my four elements, which I use for my sex positive events. When I communicate about sex positivity, I had four columns, four elements. So that also made me think, oh wow, there's a strong connection. So basically, it's awareness, consent, non-judgment, and pleasure. Those are the four suits, which basically, I'll show you the little. I don't know if it's backwards because this thing about cameras, but basically the awareness is the condom, which is also
Mm-hmm.
pentacles. This is
Mm-hmm.
cups, which is no judgment. It's a fetish shoe, and it's also for
Mm-hmm.
slut pride. Pleasure
Mm-hmm.
for the wands, and pleasure is obviously a dildo with a very
Mm-hmm.
colorful, well, not in this case, but colorful in the cards you'll see. And then with the flogger as a symbol of consent because of the,
Mm.
all the BDSM culture. And so those also 4 elements made me think there was something, but especially meeting, I'll give you a little tour, let's say, of the cards before doing
I
the
love
reading.
it. Yes, please. I love this 4 pillars and how you connected them. It's perfect. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. And basically, yeah, here I placed both the uh, my cards, which are the sex positive cards, but with them I also put the original, the Marseille card. So this is actually the card I drew, the sex toys, which is the initial, is the engine, let's say, it's the starting.
Mm.
So I wanted to do the number 1, and also I found it like a lot of connection because I also am very into sex toys, and so I thought that could be a good start. And then, yeah, I'll show you quickly the cards. This is the Popes, and the transgender is the Empress, the sex work is the
Mm.
Emperor. But basically, we looked at the elements. Like, for example, if you look at the Emperor, the important element he has is the fact that he's well, obviously in charge and very clear on what he wants, and also has a strong connection with power and money. And so we thought about using this for portraying. This card is
Mm.
being drawn by Human Show, which is an artist that lives in Paris, and
Mm-hmm.
she interpreted also the throne being somebody like a submissive person with who she probably has a money relationship. You can see there's money on the bottom, but yeah, and also has the symbol like the red umbrella for the workers' rights. And so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we connected that to the scepter. But yeah, just in general, we did a lot of
Mm.
work on the symbols, like
Mm-hmm.
each
A
element,
lot
for
of
example.
detail in there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is, well, it's very complex because it's non-monogamy, which, as you know, it's a very complex word
Very complex, yes.
but it also has these beautiful figures that have like harmony, and they can find their own balance sustaining each other. And it starts with this card, which is instead, it was called the choice. Somehow it's the lovers, but it's also the choice because this person is in the middle and has to choose one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And instead,
Mm-hmm.
our idea of non-monogamy in some way was that you don't have necessarily to choose. It's more about
Mm-hmm.
opening up to different possibilities. Obviously choose in some way, obviously choose the non-monogamy possibility, but it's and then here actually a card that you might recognize. It's me, this person called Ogre. It's an artist from Rome, a street artist, and he wanted to portray me as porn, which is a
Mm.
transposition of the chariot. And so he thought of having, well, the connection. I basically contacted all these artists, but I gave them the elements they wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The fact that basically the chariot was porn was my idea basically, but they found a way to make that happen. And so, like, for example, he had this intuition of making the chariot into a camera, as at the element that takes you for the creation. And
Mm-hmm.
yep. And so then there's Justice, and Justice is a strong character because it's the limits. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
the one that says what
Okay.
is. It's important to
Boundaries.
have a
Mm.
clear mind, a balance on what is that you want and what you don't want.
Mm.
And
Mm.
also this character is the Medusa from the statue they built in front of the Palace of Justice after
Mm-hmm.
the Me Too movement. There was like the trials, and
Mm-hmm.
finally this statue. So he was inspired by that as an element of no more. Same.
Mm-hmm.
When you have enough and you don't want to go further.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hermit was a connection to the masturbation as somebody who's looking inside him or herself themselves for, you know, for the sexuality and finding pleasure, but also looking back at the past.
Wonderful. Yeah,
And
wonderful.
then,
I like that. The sex magic ritual guru, the hermit, the
yes, and
solo
then
sex magic ritual guru.
yeah, and then they have the wheel of fortune becomes the menstruation because of the changing, but the end of a cycle and starting a new one. And so there's a few elements that, you know, made us think that this connection was quite strong. And basically when, well, you'll see then later when we do the reading, but, you know, obviously we use both elements, like, you know, the tarological side of, like, this is the card which is taken from the strength. And as you see, this figure was somebody who had a hand inside the lion and was not afraid of it. And the lion is the skin color, so it's like sexuality, because it's something that is, you know, very physical, very flesh. And so we thought about connecting it to BDSM, that's somebody who dominates sexuality with a strong relationship of power, and also, you know, all the connection which happens through consent. But that's in the other cards, which are the minor, because we also illustrated, we created this 56 minor cards, but
So
at the
it
moment
has
it's still
78 cards, the tarot.
exactly, there are 78, but 22 are the major arcana. So for the moment we only have these, because we also basically, this project was is being funded through a crowdfunding campaign, which is still active. And so we're still in the process of, you know, making the things happen. Then we'll print them once we have all the funding, and clearly all the artists need to be paid as well. So it's been a big entrepreneurial idea, but
I can imagine, yeah.
let's go for it. As I was saying before, if you believe in something, you know, you just gotta keep going until, you know, you can see if it happens or not. But I believed
This
in
looks
it.
already good. So you're halfway through. You have the major arcanas manifested, materialized in front of you, and the rest will come. I know that your Kickstarter project is going very well. We can also put the link there. It's up for some more days if somebody wants to support and also maybe buy a deck of these wonderful cards. And I would love to jump into like the reading for BliXX.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I wanted to give you an overview, but now we're ready. And so I'll shuffle the cards, and then you had, well, your question was more or less clear, but just to recap, so I have a better understanding. You said, tell me the question you want to ask the card. Yes.
I would like to know where BliXX is at right now, like what is present for BliXX, and also what maybe some opportunities or some challenges that we're facing.
Perfecto. So the way I do these readings, which is a simple way, so quite immediate, but it's basically I'll place the 22 cards in a circle, and then you point out, well, I point, but you say stop when one card is the right one for you. And there will be 3 cards. The first one says the actual situation for BliXX. The second one says something that could be a challenge, a difficulty. And the third one, something that could help and something that could, you know, unblock the difficulties. So that's, yes. So I'll place the cards in the circle.
I feel very nervous.
It's always, well,
excited.
you know, things come up and they're always, the cards in it themselves, they're never negative. They have, like, you know, the way, you know, they are connected to your experience and the way they might have something that tell you about your situation at the moment. But in general, these cards are all very positive and very so Let me flip the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I start from above first, just to show you. I don't know. I can see, but can you see the circle? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see the circle.
Okay, so I'll start from the top, and I'll give you a little, and you tell me when to stop for the first card, which is the initial situation, the actual situation for BliXX.
Stop.
Okay, we'll place this right in the middle, and then we'll choose the second card, which is the challenge that you might face.
Stop.
This one. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I touched this one, but maybe it was this one. So, yep.
Maybe both. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'll choose the other one for the solution, for the help that you might receive.
Perfect.
So, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the first one. It's initial situation. Oh, this
What is
is
it?
the coming out. Sorry, it's
Oh.
probably. Oh yeah, no, it's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always worried that the cameras flip, but not in this case. And basically, this is the arcane with no name, which is also known as the death, but clearly
Oh.
in terological language or terological meanings is actually transformation. So that's why we decided to associate it to coming out, because it has, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this card was illustrated by a guy from Rome who's called Fabrizio and Ferraro, and he basically made this beautiful illustration about a person who's initially veiled and then completely, you know, radically to the bone, and then has a transformation, a new identity, or a chosen identity, let's say. And it has these figures that look at him, and but the main thing for this card is this big, I can never remember the name of this tool that the character is holding, the one that cuts with the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's basically a moment of change. That's what it's saying. So there's something that needs to, you know, move on and to completely change from. And also in the coming out, it's something that has to do with, you know, being honest and showing what your true intentions or true ideas or true identity is, you know. So that's the main element for this card. Let's see what the difficulty could be, the challenge that you would
Chun, chun,
face
chun,
in
chun.
this transformation. And the
Mm-hmm.
transformation, oh, this was the card that we
Oh,
actually,
the non-monogamy. We looked at that one before. Interesting that it comes up
yes,
here again.
yes, exactly. It came
Mm-hmm.
out, and this card was illustrated by Ilaria Capellini, who's also a friend or a person from Rome, well, that lives in Rome actually. And well, the connection that I can see, it's clearly it has to do with the complexity. I don't know exactly. This is where you have to sort of add your vision of what this card might help, what might suggest to tell you. I don't know if there's anything that has to do with this in your. You were talking more about the professional life of BliXX, but
I was talking more about the professional life of BliXX, not much about, or like I was connecting to like the spirit of BliXX and me and Beatrice when I let you choose this card. So it's very very interesting. But maybe this is like a transformation for us to grow our team, our core team, transformation to level up and to like going to like becoming a little bit more. Could be. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah, this is definitely
And the
a group.
non-monogamy card is like the card of choice, right? We've been discussing that. So there might be some challenges in like choosing how to how to expand from this place in this transformation. Could be.
Absolutely.
Is
No,
it
no,
what comes
definitely.
right now? I don't know.
Yeah, no, this is exactly, because the important thing is that, I mean, you find your answer rather than me telling you what to know or think
Exactly.
about the
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
Because the cards are, speaking to you, and it's your question. So I'm just trying to facilitate. And the solution, it's a card that you might be familiar.
Union. And look at this. Tantra.
Tantra is, well, as you know, it's the card 21. So it's at the end of it's the last card. It's the
It's the
card of the
last card of the
card,
Arcana.
also called.
Mm-hmm.
It's the word. And we associated it to Tantra because it has this sort of idea, Tantra, to have everything is connected, and like the world, all the elements, like the water, fire, earth, and air, and this person or this figure at in the middle is connected with all, has many actually has sort of a goddess. I she presents herself as a goddess, as in touch with the snake of sexuality, but also snake of knowledge. And so this card is clearly saying that has to do with being present in the here and now, which is one of the most important elements of Tantra. And so this, but considering your path, which it has very strong connections with the Tantra, I would say it's suggesting that that's a path that you keep following, and that might help you grow and grow in with different relationships and transforming into something like the snake, for example, which is something has a new skin, but also is as you can tell, it's very friendly and connected. And yeah, this
I like
card
that
was
also. It's like very very accurate or very on point when it comes to retreats, and there it's all about like shedding skin and finding deeper union and acceptance, the opportunity to open up to more ways of relating, what is also an issue in that way, and like this transformation out of like the limiting beliefs that we're having. You could also like translate it to our experiences that we're hosting. I love it actually. It's wonderful.
yeah, I'm definitely
Mm-hmm.
chuffed that came this card, because I know that how much you work into this tantra and this energy, and it's obviously one of the most powerful cards, because as I said, it's the card of the cards, and
Card of
it's
the
like
cards.
at the end of a path. So it's like the
Mm-hmm.
one that has more awareness, more consciousness. So it's a card which means that the path that you're following has hopefully will take you to have more connection with everything, with all the elements. And
Yeah. Yes, yes,
that's
yes,
great.
yes. I love that.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, me too. Feels very good to me. Wonderful. I feel very, very grateful for this insights of transformation, opening up and finding union and staying present. Yes. The
um,
non-monogamy, the Tantra. Oh
yes, they're all
yeah, the coming
very
out. Mm-hmm.
elements that you have to connect or face in your path, but they might take you very far, or where you need to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for this
Oh, it's
for
my
this
pleasure.
wonderful reading. I really,
Yes.
really feel very blessed to receive that, and I'm very curious to share it with Beatrice and to to find
Yes.
maybe a different interpretation to look at it also through the eyes of the two of us. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can continue this conversation.
With pleasure.
Yeah. Let me know, Diego, or you want to share with our listeners where can they find you? Where can they find out more about this tarot? So, yeah.
Basically, we are on both Instagram and Facebook, so you can find us as Sex Positive Tarot, one word, as you see probably me as my account now, and
I
also
don't know if this is visible. Yeah, Sex
okay.
Positive Tarot.
Yes,
Good.
Sex Positive Tarot. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then also there you can find in the bio or in there is basically on Kickstarter we created this campaign which is about to end. So we have only 9 days left, and we actually reached the goal. But on the other hand, we are still. I placed the goal a little lower just because I wasn't, I mean, I wanted to be sure because it's all or nothing with Kickstarter. And so they have this thing about, if you don't reach, you don't get anything. And so I wanted to be sure. But on the other hand, now I'm a little, it's still happening. And the important thing is now we've reached the goal. It means that for sure we'll be printing it. And for sure we'll also have a book coming. We have T-shirts and we have posters, which are nice to have to share this beautiful artwork that 33 different artists made. And there's actually one thing that basically, if we reach a certain level called stretch goals, basically we will print 2 cards more, which are made by some special artist that we contacted. And so that's something that we look forward to add to the deck because they're, as I said, very special. And so have something which is outside the symbolism, but still very beautiful and has all the energy that might help this project.
Wonderful. So thank you for sharing. And yeah, thank you everybody for listening and being part of this special edition of receiving a Sex Positive Tarot card reading from Sex Positive Tarot. So have a wonderful evening, and thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.